Hello students, let us continue the session on mensuration. We had solved 36 question. Now the 37th question. The surface area of a cylinder which exactly fits in a cube of side b centimeter is. As per the given question, the cylinder exactly fits in a cube. It means that the diameter will be equal to the side of the cube. So the radius will be equal to b by 2. We know the curved surface area. The curved surface area of cylinder is given by 2 pi rh, which will be 2 times of pi multiplied to the radius is b by 2. How about the height? Height of the cylinder will be same as the side of the cube, so it should be taken as b. When we do this, we get it as pi b square. They have asked surface area. If it was a curved surface area, the answer is pi b square. Since they have asked the surface area, I need to take the base also. So the total surface area is equal to the curved surface area plus there are two bases, 2 times of pi r square. Instead of r square, I need to take b by 2 whole square. Therefore, pi b square plus 2 pi times of b square by 4. This will be 2 times. So pi b square plus pi times of b square by 4. In other words, we can take LCM and then simplify. We'll be having 5 by 4 pi b square. So this is 5 by 4 pi b square if I consider the total surface area. If it is just curved surface area, it will be pi b square. Question number 38. If the diagonal D of a quadrilateral is doubled and the height h1 and h2 are falling on D are halved, then the area of the quadrilateral is. We all know that area of the quadrilateral is given by half into the diagonal multiplied to sum of the heights, sum of heights. Here, as per the given question, the diagonal is doubled, so it is 2 times of t, and the heights are halved, h1 by 2 plus h2 by 2. We can take LCM. LCM will be 2. We will be having half h1 plus h2 multiplied to d, because this 2 and the 2 get cancelled. So it means that the area is unchanged. Or I can write that it is half diagonal multiplied to sum of the heights. Question number 39. The perimeter of a rectangle becomes dash times its original perimeter if its length and breadth are doubled. We all know that the perimeter is 2 times of length plus breadth. For the original rectangle, perimeter will be 2 times of L plus B. For the new rectangle, perimeter will be equal to 2 times, instead of length I have to take 2 times of length plus 2 times of breadth, because length and breadth both are doubled here. So we can take 2 out. We will be getting 2 times of L plus B. If I say this is P1, this is P2, I can say that P2 is 2 times of P1. It means that the perimeter becomes 2 times. 2 times its original perimeter. Question number 40. A trapezium with 3 equal sides and one of the side is double the equal side can be divided into dash equilateral triangles of dash area. Here, as per the question, let me draw the figure. This is a rough figure. According to the question, there are 3 equal sides of the trapezium and another side is a double of the equal side. It means that this is A plus A. This is our trapezium. In this trapezium, 3 of the sides are equal. AB will be equal to BC will be equal to DA, that is A units. And other side CD is 2 times A. Let me join this. What do you observe? These 2 sides are equal. What can you say about this triangle? Is it an equilateral triangle? For doing so, let me make use of the congruency. I can say that these 2 triangles are congruent to each other. Can I say that? Since this side and this side, they are parallel to each other. AB is parallel to DC. This line acts as a transversal. Alternate angles will be equal. This angle will become equal to this angle. Same way, this angle will become equal to this angle. Can we do anything about this now? Let me mention this point of intersection as E. If I consider the triangle AED and triangle EAB, what do I have is the side DE is equal to the side BA, both are equal to A units. There is side AE which is equal to the side EA, it's a common side. If you look at the angle over here, angle AED is equal to angle EAB. They are the alternate interior angles. So let me mention that alternate interior angles. If you observe these 2 sides and this angle is an included angle, so I can say that triangle AED is congruent to triangle EAB. Similarly, I can show that the triangle CEB is congruent to triangle ABE. Here, these 2 triangles are one and the same. From this, I can say that triangle AED is congruent to triangle CEB. When these 2 triangles are congruent to each other, their corresponding sides will be equal. This AE will become equal to BE and both will be A units. From this, we can say that there is a equilateral triangle formed over here. This is also equilateral and this is equilateral. So it means that there will be three equilateral triangles, and whenever the triangles are equilateral having the same side, their areas will be equal. They will be having equal area. Question number 41. All six faces of cuboid are dash in shape and of dash area. If you consider a cuboid, let me draw a rough figure of a cuboid. This is our cuboid. All the six faces, they are in a rectangle shape. We can mention here rectangular shape. This particular will be having area equal to L into B. So one of them will be having area LB, one more will be having area LB, other will be having BH, BH, same way LH, LH. So their areas are not the same. Pairs will be equal, but their areas will not be same. So I can say that they will be having different areas. Question number 42. Opposite faces of a cuboid are dash in area. It's very clear that they are equal in area because these two are the opposite faces. They will be equal in area. There will be three pairs of rectangles having equal area. Question 43. The curved surface area of cylinder of height h and radius h will be. We know the curved surface area of the cylinder. It is given by 2 pi rh. As per the given question, the curved surface area is 2 pi. Instead of radius, we have to take h. Instead of height, we have to take r. So it will be same as 2 pi rh. It will remain same, 2 pi rh. Question number 44. The total surface area of a cylinder of radius h and height r is. We all know the total surface area. It's curved surface area plus the area of base. Here I can say that the total surface area is equal to the curved surface area plus area of upper surface plus area of lower surface. The curved surface area is given by 2 pi multiplied to radius into height plus area of the upper surface is pi times of radius square plus pi times of radius square. They have given that radius is h, height is r. So it is 2 pi h into r plus 2 times of pi multiplied to, because this is same, 2 times pi multiplied to radius square is h square. If you take out 2 pi h as common, you'll be having r plus h. So the curved surface, the total surface area will remain unchanged. It is 2 pi r into r plus h. Moving on to question number 45. What will be the volume of the cylinder if radius is h and height is r? We all know that volume is given by pi r square h, which is radius square into height. Pi times radius square is h square multiplied to r. So pi h square r will be the volume pi h square r. Question number 46. The area of rhombus is half the product of diagonals. Question number 47. Two cylinders A and B are joined by folding a rectangular sheet of dimension 10 into 20 centimeter along its length and also along its breadth respectively. The volume of A is dash of the volume of B. So here there are two rectangular sheets having the same dimension, but one of the rectangular sheet is made into a cylinder along with length. One more is made into a cylinder along its breadth. Suppose if it is folded along its length, which is 20 centimeter, the resultant figure will be having the height equal to 10 centimeter. The height becomes equal to 10 centimeter. It is folded along with the length. When it is folded along with the breadth, the height will become equal to 20 centimeter. These differences you must know. We all know that circumference of this particular figure will be 20 centimeter. So 2 pi r is equal to 20 centimeter. So if you find r will be equal to 10 by pi centimeter. This radius will be 10 by pi centimeter. For this, the circumference is 10 centimeter. So the radius will be equal to 5 by pi centimeter. The radius is 5 by pi centimeter. Now we have radius and the height. We can find out the volume. Let me call the volume of this figure as V1, which is volume of the figure A, VA. Let me call this as VB. Volume is given by pi r square h. So pi multiplied to r square is 10 by pi. Into 10 by pi because r square into height is 10. Volume of the second, it's pi multiplied to 5 by pi multiplied to 5 by pi multiplied to 20. So here one of the pi get cancelled. We'll be having 1000 by pi. Volume of the second figure is 5, sorry, pi get cancelled, 5 multiplied to 5 multiplied to 20. It's 25 times of 20, which is 500. So 500 by pi. Here when we observe that volume of the first figure will be 2 times the volume of the second. So I can say that volume of A is double or twice of the volume of B. Question number 48. In the above question, the curved surface area of A is dash the curved surface area of B. So we have to have curved surface area for this question. For figure A, we had height equal to 20 centimeters and the radius, sorry, this was 10, sorry, 10, and the radius was 10 by pi. For the figure B, the height is 20 centimeter and the radius is 5 by 5 centimeter. When these two are the radius and height respectively, then we can find out its curved surface area. So CSA of figure A or cylinder A is 2 pi RH. It's 2 pi multiplied to 10 by pi into height 10. When we calculate, it will be 200 centimeter square. For CSA of cylinder B, it is 2 pi multiplied to 5 by pi multiplied to 5 by pi into height is 20. Pi get cancelled. RH, only one time I have to consider. So 5 times of 20 times of 2 is 200 centimeter square. So both are having the same curved surface area. So in the above question, the curved surface area of A is dash curved surface area is same as curved surface area of B. Question number 49. Dash of solid is a measurement of space inside it's a volume. Question number 50. Dash surface area of room is area of the four walls. Its lateral surface area. Two cylinders of equal volume have the heights in the ratio 1:9. The ratio of their radii is. Here the two cylinders are having equal volume. V1 is equal to V2. So it means that pi R1 square H1 will be equal to pi R2 square H2. Here what is known to us, it's the ratio of their heights. H1 by H2 is known to us, it's 1/9. So let me cancel out this pi. R1 by R2 square will be equal to H2 by H1, which is 9/1. So R1 by R2 will be equal to 3:1. The ratio is 3:1. Let us solve this 53rd question. It's the last question for today's session. The two cylinders have the same volume. V1 is equal to V2. Having the radii in the ratio R1:R2 is given as 1:6. Then the ratio of the heights are same type of question. We know pi r square h is the volume. Here I can cancel out this pi. R1 square by R2 square will be equal to H2 by H1. So it is 1/6 whole square equal to H2 by H1. This implies that H1 is to H2 will be equal to 36:1. It becomes the reciprocal. So the ratio of the heights is 36:1. With this question, I'll end today's session. Thank you.